Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be some physical media that I picked up in the past couple of weeks. First up on eBay, I picked up Bronx Warriors 2. Now, as you know, my good friend Ken Sparnan gifted me practically all of these, the collection. And actually, some of the movies I'm picking up off eBay to fill the gaps in are some really great movies. So, Bronx Warriors 2 in this case. This is, like I say, this is from early 80s and it's so funny. It's so action packed and yet so funny. This bloke here, I think he's called Trash. His character's called Trash. I don't know what it is about him. I mean, he's a tall bloke. He's a big fella, and he seems to walk around as if he's had some kind of back injury. Because I've never seen somebody stand up so straight in all my life. And I just got a blast out of these ones. These ones, obviously, film that came on the back of the kind of like the Warriors. If you think of the Warriors mixed with a bit of Mad Max, you're kind of halfway there, especially with the next one. But these are so funny. They're just a laugh a minute, but they're highly entertaining as well. So yeah, so first up it was Bronx Warriors 2. Obviously I'll be putting screenshots of these going up on the screen. Next I got spy number 27, which is the New Barbarians, which is it's not really a sequel to that. This is more like Mad Max, and this is more like the Warriors. This is, like I say, a laugh a minute as well. It's directed by Enzo G. Castellari, who did that one and Bronx Warriors. When you see these low-budget Italian rip-offs of a genre, they're just really good. They're always entertaining, I think, and you can't really believe that they went to this length. But obviously, Mad Max was really a big film in the 80s, 82, 81. Mad Max 2, should I say. And this just there was a slew of them came out in Italy, and to be honest, all the ones I've seen have just been so entertaining. Actually, this was only £5.99 from HMV. You can see these stand out a mile on the shelves, so I went around and see if I could pick any more up. Unfortunately, it was only this one in the shop, but if I see any of the ones missing in HMV, they're only about £6. I would definitely pick them up. So yeah, so that's the New Barbarians. I also got this one here, which I knew nothing about. Spy number 40. It's Viva. Now, I've actually watched this movie, and I will talk about it in what I've watched in the month of January, so you'll hear all about that. I'll not show you too much of the back of here because YouTube will start to cry, but it's a great movie, this. If you think of Russ Meyer, you're halfway there. So that's Viva. That was £10, I think, off eBay. And lastly, in the ones that I've got in here to make up this collection, I'm close to getting the full collection, is spine number 45, the sister of Ursula. Again, I'll not show you the back of this one, but this is quite a good giallo actually when I put it on, and it's got these have all got really nice prints. This one looks spectacular for a DVD. The roll and cut. These four that I've got, because sometimes they do get cut or trimmed a little bit in this collection, but these are all uncut. After the death of their father, a traumatized Ursula, who was in Suspiria, and her sister Dagmar, check into a plush hotel in the picturesque Bay of Naples. Soon, beautiful women start dying in the most bizarre, gory manner. The already disturbed Ursula starts having visions, apparently seeing through the eyes of the black-clad voyeur who's observing themselves in the murder. That sounds all right. You know, this thing, telekinesis, why not? So yeah, so those are the four that I picked up to go into this collection, and I want to thank Ken Sparnan once again for setting me off on that. Literally, I've just got a couple of gets, and I've got the full ones, so that's an amazing thing to add to the collection. So cheers, Ken, appreciate that. So when I was in there looking for vinyl, I actually picked a CD up. When I saw it there, I pounced on it. So I picked up the soundtrack to Koyanniquatsi. This movie is just unbelievable. If you don't know about it, I've got the Criterion here, which I got quite a while ago. This is the trilogy. Michael,
where's me ladders?
This is the Katsi trilogy, and it's got Koyanniquatsi, Power Katsi, and Nagoi Katsi. This is an amazing set. This movie is something else. I think it's one of those ones that I put it on and I couldn't take my eyes off it. I put it on for my son and he couldn't take his eyes off it. I put on for Deborah, who said, I'm not watching that. And by the end of it, she says, I couldn't take my eyes off that. It's a weird film that nothing happens in it. Loads of things happen to it. There's no talking to it. There's no story, kind of. And it's all this. I'll leave a trailer, link the trailer down below because this is such a great movie. I think Arrow released two of these movies, put some great music on from Philip Glass. That's who did the music of that. That's why I knew I had to get this. I put this on the car and Deb was like, get that off. So I'll put a link to the title music of that. And when I put it on, actually I played it to quite a few people while I was working and they just thought it was the biggest load of rubbish they'd ever heard in their life. But anyway, I like it. So yeah, so I quite recommend you to actually watch Koyanniquatsi or watch any of these movies if you can. But this one's by far the best. The other ones are all right. So getting back to movies, what I did was when I was actually going, I was in the town yesterday. I took, Devil Girl from Mars back. I said to the guy, I said, look, I got this. It doesn't work. And he said, right, no problem. We've actually recalled them all. We're going to send them all back to the warehouse. And I said, do you think they get any more? And he says, well, if I do get any more, they will all be fixed. So just a thing to say, if you wanted to get this one, because I was really looking forward to this movie and it looked great. It just was out of sync. So I thought what I'll do is I'll liaise with this fella and I'll just say, look, is there any sign of that movie coming out again? And I would imagine if you see the Blu Ray and CX, I would stay well away from it. Although I did hear from my good friend Kermit's Ghost, linked to his channel down below. Alan said that he had got one and it played perfectly. So you might want to take a chance for that, but always keep a receipt in case you've got to take it back and say, look, this is folly. But so anyway, yeah, so what I did was I got some money back and I thought, right, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go upstairs and buy some vinyl because I saw this vinyl in there for $12.99. It'd be $12.99 for months. Of course, when I went up there, it was back to full price. So I thought, right, I'll wait for another sale. So what I did was I thought, right, I've got some kind of credit just to spend there. So I looked around and it was a bit expensive. This I was hoping this was going to come in the 2 for £30 sale, but I knew I had to pick it up sometime. So of course I obviously went and picked up Barbie on 4K. I picked this up and obviously the picture quality is absolutely stunning. I knew it was going to be good, but actually it's much better than I thought it was going to be. If you're a fan of this type of movie, well, I'm saying this type of movie because this movie is kind of unique for me. You might want to check it out. If you're just a person who just likes good looking 4Ks, this is by far one of the best ones I've ever seen. I knew it was going to look that good. The movie itself, like I say, I thought was really good. I thought it was me. Well, it was amongst five movies that I would have had in the top one, but at that point in time, it was, my number one. Anyway, so yeah, so I swapped it for Barbie. Yeah, so really happy to get that. But I've been looking for that to come down in the sale for a long time. Of course, it'll be on the sale next week. I did actually go and buy in the 2 for £30 sale. I bought two movies on 4K. Now, the reason why I got these two is because what I do is I write them down on my phone when I get good recommendations to say this is a great 4K. You're going to have to check it out. And I'd seen my good friend Keith from Euphoria Pictures, linked down below, had mentioned these two movies. So on my list, and as soon as they come into 2 for £30, I thought I'm pouncing. So first up, I've got The Truman Show. Now, I haven't seen this movie. I'm a big fan of John. I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey. John's his brother. And Keith had said great things about this, and obviously I trust his judgment. So obviously when I put it on, you'll see screenshots from here. I put it on, I thought this just looks sensational. I knew this movie was like shot outside for most of it, and I knew it would look good if it was done well. It's the one that I meant to get round and just never got to. And I'm really interested to see it now. It's what right on my top of my list, especially because there's not many Jim Carrey movies that I haven't seen, and this is by far the sort of best one, or meant to be one of the best ones that I haven't yet to see. I really hope he kind of comes back to movies. I think he's coming back from the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which is brilliant. The Sonic the Hedgehog ones, absolutely amazing. But yeah, so really happy to get that. And of course, another recommendation of Keith was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, I've seen it recently that Keith has put this right high up on his list of 4Ks. And I knew when I put it on, I was looking for a few things, predominantly the red car in here. Actually, there's no picture on here. But the red car in this movie was just unreal. I knew it would be because the reds on here are great. It's a lot of outdoor things. There's a lot of outdoor scenes. Super sharp. The soundtrack is amazing as well. It's Dolby Vision Atmos. Has this got Dolby Vision Atmos? Yes. And the soundtrack, I'm not too sure what the soundtrack is at this moment. I'll put it up on the screen what these two are. And so, yeah, it's great to get recommendations of these movies because sometimes, I mean, I've been burnt in the past. You'll think, oh, this will look great in 4K, and they've done a really lackluster copy of it, and it looks like trash basically, or just like a sort of like poor man's Blu-ray. So you think, well, what's the point in buying it? But anyway, these were highly recommended. So I want to thank Keith once again for setting me up with them. So that was brilliant. This is the vinyl I'm going to box today.
Mogwai's 7th album, Hardcore Will Never Die, But You Will, from 2011. I'm a huge fan of Mogwai, and I want to get all of their albums on vinyl. I've got them all on CD, as I've got this CD here, the CD of this album, to compare it to with just what's on it. Now, what isn't on it is the CD2 on here. It's called Music for a Forgotten Future. It's 23 minutes and 9 seconds long. Amazing song. It's a shame it's not in here. I know they've got a box set out for this, but the box set, when I looked at it, I mean, this was only $21.99 from Beatdown Records. I'll show this again. If you go to Beatdown Records Newcastle, you do get this loyalty card. I've got 4 in mine. When I get to 10, I'll get £10 off any album. And this, like I say, this is my favourite Mogwai album. It's brilliant. It's got your 2 discs in here. You get the album, but you also get this extra disc, which has got this 23-minute song on it, which I think is really good. And it's a brilliant album. If you're thinking of a place to start on an album for Mogwai, apart from the best of Sentinel Belters, do get this one. Also, as a side note, around the same time this was released, the Earth Division EP, which is a solid EP. It's one of the best ones I've got. Some of the songs on here are absolutely brilliant, as most of the songs are on these days from Mogwai. This one isn't on here, but I think it's in the box set. But like I say, for the extra stuff you get, this was £20. I think the box set's around about 50, 60 because it's out of print now. I thought it's not going to give us too much stuff, so I let that one go. I think this is a gatefold. So what I will do with this one is, it's got no hype stickers on. If it has hype stickers, I will keep them. But obviously there's nothing on here for that. So what I'll do is I'll open this up. I'll not keep them shrink wrapped and just do it this way, because I want to see what it's like on the gatefold. So I'll open this up and we'll take a look and see what it's like. I don't think these are coloured vinyls, but we'll find out. I'll just get this opened here. Wherever possible, I will keep the shrink wrap on, but on things like this, gatefolds, I know you can't keep the shrink wrap on in a gatefold. I'm not saying you can't, but I just like the fact of looking at these albums. I know I wrap them up quite well, but I do want to see what's in the middle of the gatefold. I have got a protective cover for it, so it's not as if I'm going to open this up and it's going to be not protected. I've got a double sleeve for my good friend Dave Ramson has supplied that to me. The tactileness of vinyl can't be understated. It's amazing. You don't, I mean, I do collect movies, but you don't seem to get this with a movie. It's really bizarre. You do actually, but it's just a different thing. There we go. So that's your inside. I always thought, because Mogwai are from Glasgow, I always thought that this was Glasgow, but it's not. It's New York. It's a lovely picture, that. The actual feel of this album is nice as well. It's got a lovely feel to it. Now the thing about Mogwai, what I do like is, if you can see this, because actually it's quite, it's hard to see actually with my eyes as well. You get the album, the albums on 4 sides, two vinyl, but the song titles of Mogwai albums are just brilliant. And Rano Pano, I mean, all the songs on here. Sometimes when you get a Mogwai album, there are little bits, you get the odd dud song on it, or the odd strange song, or really crazy one to sort of, to know. Actually, that's Mogwai's sign there. I'm just trying to see if I can show that. I don't know if that's on the CD. I'm just going to check. Yes, actually it is on there. Funny enough, I've had this album since 2011 and I've never noticed that. Right, so we'll see what's in here. Get some lovely, in the box set you do get this artwork kind of separately. but you kind of more or less get it here. There's something else in here which could be a download. Yes, it is. And that's brilliant. I do have it on download as well, but I will download these and get this. So there you go. What a great title that is. Actually, we've got another album called Rave Tapes. It makes you think that this hardcore will never die. It's not hardcore music. It's a great title to put on. So we'll have a look at these discs. Nice artwork. Yeah, that's the album cover there, or a different kind of view of the album cover. You wouldn't have thought this was New York. See what colour these discs are. I think they're black. Yeah, black. So that's side B. Obviously you get the track listing on the album cover. Side A. I have got another Mogwai album, and it sounds incredible. So I have no doubt that this one will sound equally as good. Now, as you know, it's not polylined, so I'll be putting the protective polyliners in here. Again, from my good friend Dave Ramsden. You probably hear his name a lot on these videos. Good picture. I suspect they're all from New York. Ah. The vinyl on here, I'm not really too, bothered about how thick the vinyl is, but this one is, it's quite thin compared to some of the other vinyl I've got. New vinyl, should I say. Not a problem to me. Obviously you can't really see these things are warped until you get them on the player. But usually even with a bit of warping on, it doesn't affect them that much. Get another polyliner for that. Like I say, if you're interested in Mogwai, you're interested in this album, it's an absolutely brilliant album. Actually most of the Mogwai albums are good. Some of them are a bit more experimental than other ones. Some of them are a bit more heavier than other ones. Some are a bit more noisy than other ones. But this one's just good all the way through. And it's funny because when you're looking at this album, sometimes you think this is... sometimes some of the songs on here, you think, no, I'm not really into that song. Then you go back to it a while later and you think, that's an absolutely brilliant song. I mean, a song like Letters to the Metro, never really thought anything about that. But it's like it's sort of John Carpenter movie also as well. True Rage into Tears was one of me ones that I didn't like, but I really like it now. Your Lionel Richie. That's actually the guitarist Stuart Braithwaite. That title is from the fact that he actually met, well, he's drunk and he bumped into Lionel Richie in an airport and said, "You're Lionel Richie." There you go. So I'm going to put it in as double protective parcel now. That's Mogwai's 2011 7th album, Hardcore Will Never Die, But You Will.
So yeah, another winner from Mogwai. This is, like I say, it's my favourite Mogwai album. And when I put this on, I've listened to all the Mogwai stuff. But when I put this vinyl on, it's so quiet. that's one of the main things I know about this newfound love for vinyl. When I put it on, I think you can't hear any pops, any cracks, any nothing. It's just got such a clean sound to it, but it sounds spectacular. I do feel that when you're listening to Mogwai in the car, and I listen to Mogwai a lot in the car, I love it. But when I'm putting it on in the vinyl environment, and I'm sitting there and I'm concentrating on the song, and I'm hearing not car noises. Some of these songs go that quiet, you can't really hear them in the car. You've got turned up and then it starts blasting. I'm hearing these like for the first time because I'm hearing them in a separate environment, which is something I'll probably talk about with different video. It's just great going down to Beatdown Records as well. I'm getting quite friendly with the bloke who sells there, so we can just have a chit chat and just talk about that. And he's seen Mogwai a couple of times, so it's great. It's great to have that connection that you'd kind of lost for a long time, and really as well. This Beatdown Records has been there since since that long as I don't remember. So I've been to this shop and had a break of 30 plus years, and I'm going back to this shop. It looks exactly the same. It's unbelievable. Having a great time, having a blast. So anyway, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.